If I tell you planet's natural oxygen factory, what kind of image come to your mind? Just think about it. Close your eyes and think about it. What kind of image comes to your mind? Yes, probably you might think something like this. A rich canopy, a forest canopy full of the trees, because the trees, we know that the trees release a lot of oxygen, isn't it? So trees are the real oxygen factories. That is the reason that we put the trees, we plant the trees on every June 5th. But unfortunately, we don't really take care of those wonderful trees, right? So that is one option, one thing that we actually miss out. Do you know this is a very famous image of Earth? This image is called the blue marble, and it was taken by Apollo 17 spacecraft in the year 1972. If you look at this image, it's very, very clear that the entire planet, if you look from the space, is blue in color. Do you know why? Yes, 72% of the Earth is full of the water. So it's all ocean life, but not many people know much about the oceans or its importance to the life on Earth. If I zoom into any of these oceanic places, the seawater, you can see the creatures like this. These are something called phytoplanktons, or nothing but cyanobacteria. Have you ever heard of these phytoplanktons or its utility for the life or even our own life? You know, this is one of the very good popular science publications by the government of India. It is very cheap, only 5 rupees per magazine, and it is called Dream 2047 by DST, that is Department of Science and Technology. I often write in this journal. One of this magazine's cover page is my article. The cover story was about the 2 organisms that are very key for maintenance of the life on Earth, and these organisms are called Prochlorococcus and Cyanococcus. Have you ever heard these names in your life? Prochlorococcus and Cyanococcus? Well, probability is very low that you might have heard of these 2 organisms' name, but you know, what if I tell you these are the most important 2 organisms responsible for the life on Earth, because it produces 65% of the oxygen in the air that we breathe. These simple creatures, inconspicuous marine algae, is responsible for 65% of the oxygen in the air that we all breathe. So without these 2 algae, we cannot live. There is no life on Earth. So the real oxygen factory of the world is not really the trees that we see that. You know, it is really the marine algae responsible for it. Have you ever wondered what is the smell of the dead body of these 2 algae? Probably, you know, it might come to you as a big surprise. You all know it. It's very simple. I mean, we all come to know it. It's part of our daily life. Well, the smell of the dead body of these algae is nothing but petrol or diesel. You know, what are these diesel or petrol? This is nothing but, this petrol, the 99% of the petroleum products or the fossil fuels comes from the biomass of the marine algae. That is also not many people understand it. How does this algae produce the biomass? Of course, by photosynthesis, right? Algae does majority of the natural carbon sequestration, helping us to mitigate the climate change. You know, the CO2 in the atmosphere is, it's a greenhouse gas, and that is responsible for, the increase in the temperature. So the CO2 needs to be removed. The removal of the CO2 is known as sequestration. And the majority of the carbon sequestration happen in the oceanic water by the same phytoplanktons, because they does something called photosynthesis, that is assimilation of the CO2 into the sugar and proteins, and when they die, this biomass goes all the way deep underneath the ocean, and after millions upon millions of years, this becomes the petrol that we burn. You see, so without algae, there is no life on Earth, and even no fossil fuel and no carbon sequestration. It will become a hothouse Earth, but still majority of us do not know anything about this algae. So have you ever heard of the coccolithophores, the beautiful phytoplanktons in the ocean? The coccolithophore, in addition to looking so beautiful, these are also responsible for the monsoon. Do you know how this small algae is responsible for the monsoon and the rain? Because this coccolithophore releases DMSO, that is dimethyl sulfonate, and this dimethyl sulfonate is a seeding molecule for the cloud seeding molecule for the monsoon patterns too. So the coccolithophores as well as the other algae of the same type, for example, Phyoscistis. This is a photo of the Phyoscistis. This is like the foam like algae, that the photo I have taken from Antarctic mission in 2016-17. I'm privileged to be part of Indian Antarctic team. So this is also an algae, and this is also responsible for the cloud seeding by the DMSO molecules. So how many of you know that the algae is responsible for the rain? Another algae is Trentipolia annulata. My own group study have revealed that these algal spores are responsible for something called the blood rain. The rain which is red in color. Have you ever heard of the blood rain? Well, blood rain has even been reported in Odyssey by Homer, also in the Bible. So it's very common, the phenomenon, especially in South India. So this is not because of the aliens that used to be the public perception before our paper came out. It's by the algae. Have you ever heard of this kind of bioluminescent algae? Bioluminescence is also commonly found across the Indian coastline. If you ever take a coastal cruise in the night time, you can see the bioluminescence in many places. This is also because of the algae, something called Nocticula scintillata. Do you know the lichens? If you ever been to Himalayas or to the western Ghats, you can see a beautiful lichens. And what are these lichens? This is also because of the algae that the lichens are alive. Lichens is a symbiotic partnership between algae as well as mushroom, the fungus, the mycobiota. Do you know the coral reef? If you watch the Discovery Channel or National Geographic, you can see a beautiful coral reef, so beautiful, enchanting. And what these coral reefs are? Without algal partner, that is symbiodinium, the coral reef is not alive. Have you ever heard the problems of the coral reef because of the ocean acidification? All these topics are, we will cover up in this throughout this program. My team from Central University of Punjab, we discovered 3 new species of algae. The first one, as you can see in this figure, the cover page of the Ocean Digest is, Ulva paschima. The other one is called Cladophora goensis. The third algae that we discovered is called Ulva uniseriata. All these are endemic algae from Indian coastline. Do you know the algae is used in medical forensics? Many algae are edible and very expensive. Algae cause marine invasion and hazardous blooms. Algae is also used for biofuels, and there are several medicines that is available from the marine as well as terrestrial algae. Do you know our own Prime Minister have said about the seaweed cultivation many times in the country? The importance of the seaweed cultivation. He keeps on saying that. So there is a huge prospect on working on the marine as well as seaweed farming as well as seaweed based seaweed based economy. That is a prospect or the driver of the new India. But how many of you know about the seaweeds or the kinds of seaweeds that is common across Indian discipline? Here comes the picture that I'm offering a new course that is called Discover Algae, Diversity, Ecology and Importance. So through UGC Swayam platform. So please come and attend this beautiful MOOC course. So the Swayam MOOC course is Discover Algae, Diversity, Ecology and Importance is for 8 weeks. Engagement time is 3 hours per week and overall around 24 hours in total. There will be this is a 2 credit course at the PG level, and there will be 20 modules. Exam pattern is that 30% will be online MOOC as well as these are MCQ, online MCQ, and the remaining 70% will be proctored exam, that is a pen and paper based exam conducted by the NTI. The objectives of this program is that introduce the history of the algology in India and the world, introduce the temporal patterns of the algal evolution, introduce algal diversity with most important algal species worldwide as well as in India, introduce algal ecology, introduce algal physiology and the life cycle, introduce algae mediated symbiotic systems like lichens and coral reef systems, introduce the importance and of the bioprospecting avenues of the algae, introduce algal molecular systematics. So all these are the objectives. What are the learning outcomes of this program? Important algologists and their contributions to the field, how algae evolved and the co-evolution of the algal symbionts, which are the most important algae, especially algae from India, and pertinent taxonomical characteristic to identify the algae, how algae is important on the ecological point of view, which are the most common life cycle forms of the algae, which are the important commercially significant algae, and how algae can drive Indian economy, how DNA barcoding and DNA taxonomy is used in algal systematics. So the team comprises, besides me, are Vandana Kapil Vinayak from Hari Singh Gaur Central University in Sagar, Professor C.R.K. Reddy from Mumbai ICT, and also the technical reviewer is engineer Surinder Khurana from Mayon University. This is the team of this the MOOC. So see you soon in this wonderful Swayam MOOC. So please register for this course through the Swayam portal or through the Swayam app. Thank you for watching.